All right. Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon. Welcome to BlockTech Forum 2021 to everyone. This is the second forum for BlockTech Forum, which organized by Crypto Value Malaysia and supported by Cybersecurity Malaysia. So we're happy to have a very distinguished and excellent speaker from related to our topic, which is NFT, Metaverse and the Future. So very hot topic. Okay, with me, our first speaker, Mr. Dr. VK Liew, CEO of Relife. He also one of the author of several books related to blockchain, DeFi, GameFi, and also NFT. So most of the topic in blockchain already covered by him. So speaker number two, we're happy to have Mr. Irsyad Saidin. He's the co-founder and the CEO of Pentas.io. Pentas is one of the popular NFT marketplace in Malaysia. So our speaker number three is Mr. Johan Nasir. He's the director of NFT Pangolin and very experienced in blockchain, NFT and Metaverse. And our last speaker is Mr. Benny, the CTO of Digital Nomad Labs, which based in Singapore. He already in blockchain industry since 10 years ago. So very experienced guy. So we have very talented and speaker, very experienced in blockchain. So before we start our forum, so let's briefly understand the background of our speaker. So let's start with Ms. Dr. Liew first. So please a bit share your background in blockchain.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Bukhari, and fellow panelists. So currently, I'm the CEO of Relife Metaverse. So Relife Metaverse is a platform that offers GameFi, DeFi, and also future we are going to build Metaverse in our ecosystem. And also, I'm in charge of certain asset-backed staking blockchain, and also a couple of projects, including one Metaverse for a real museum. So I involved in this a very new project. It's a real museum plus a Metaverse museum, which is a local project, but I'm not going to review the whole project yet. And also I wrote quite a number of books on blockchain, DeFi, and also Metaverse. And my new book, Metaverse, is yet to publish. So today's theme is, I think, very suitable for because I have done quite a lot of research on Metaverse. Okay, so I hope I can contribute some knowledge and my insight about Metaverse. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Liew. Thank you. Very vast experience, huge experience in blockchain, DeFi, Metaverse. So let's, Mr. Benny, please, maybe you have very 10 years experience in blockchain. Maybe you can describe and share your story on the blockchain.
Okay, so I'm from Digital Nomads Apps, and we are located in Singapore. We don't actually have any, We don't actually have any products of our own except the eKYC. So we build things for people, and they will use it, and they will, like NFT marketplace, DEX, or fiat on-off ramp, this sort of thing. But we don't actually own or run them ourselves. We build it for the people that want to use.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Benny. Short and sweet description. Okay. Let's have Mr. Irsyad. Please tell something related to your background and
Yep.
your how you come into this blockchain.
Okay. If I want to put in a simple words, who is me? I'm a technopreneur. So I start my career as a software engineer. So I develop software, and related to blockchain, I start back in 2017 when at that time it's a block stack being built. I built the app. It's called Cashlit. This is an accounting ledger built based on blockchain. So this is my first solo project that I built. And now, due to pandemic, I start building Pentas back in May this year. So Pentas is again currently Pentas is my core focus right now. And as of today, I think Pentas is about ranking number 18 in a global NFT marketplace. So
18,
again,
18.
18, yes, based on daily use. But in BSC, I think if I'm saying we are ranking number 5, but in overall total NFT marketplace is on 18. Yeah, that's a bit about me. So basically, my background mostly I'm a developer. So yeah.
All right. Great to have you, Mr. Irsyad. Maybe we can ask if somebody from audience who have some question, we can put in comment. So before that, we hear from Mr. Johan Nasir. Maybe you can share your story about blockchain, how you come into this industry.
Well, Assalamualaikum Bukhari and to my
Salam.
fellow panelists. Great to have the opportunity to be in this panel today. My experience started more than 6+ years ago within the Bitcoin mining and that kind of hype back then, I guess. But I've been in the technology space for more than 20+ years. I was with Cradle, with Proficio, so I've looked at more than 2,000+ technology business ideas, and of course, naturally, blockchain was something that I had to, understand at that point in time. And today, I'm involved with NFT Pangolin to handle the NFT marketplace, as well as we have another token. I have another token personally with another company that's already launched in the US right now. It's called Oat Token, so that's for carbon credits as well. So very much into this space, covering exchanges, covering DeFi, games, GameFi, DAO, and everything else.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Johan. I think all our speakers are very well experienced in blockchain. They have their own products, so it's good to have them. And if you guys have some comment, so please write in the comment. Okay. Okay. So our topic today is very interesting. It's very hot topic. Is the title is NFT, Metaverse, and the Future. Okay, let's go to the basic question so that our audience can capture the whole story. Okay, I would like to ask from Irsyad. Okay, first, what is NFT and what is the technology behind it? So maybe you can explain about it.
Okay. Because we hear NFT everywhere, right? Even for me myself, I don't like the terms NFT because it's so jargon. It uses 3-letter words. So if people ask me, it's very simple and straightforward. NFT stands for non-fungible. Non-fungible means something which is unique, and the T is actually token. So when it comes to something that is unique, right, and you put it together with the blockchain, so this uniqueness is where it plays a very important and very huge role, especially in these current spaces. And it is, if you compare NFT with fungible is something that you can, the value you can perceive the same. What is fungible? Same like what we have in Malaysia. You have 1 ringgit notes. You can exchange the same value. But when it comes to NFT again, it is unique. The value perceived might be different. And yeah, that is the terminology. And based on that terminology itself, because of that the T words, this which is token, because again, if we go to arcade, right? If you go to arcade, if you want to play a games, we need to buy token. So which means that token means representing something. So NFT is a unique that is represented as a token. So when things represented as a token, this is where it enables manipulating, it enables a metaverse, it enables a transaction, and so on and so on. So to put into simple words, which is something unique and it can be represented as a token.
All right. Thank you. I think that's covered the understanding of what is NFT and the technology behind it. Okay. I would like to jump to Mr. Johan Nasir because currently, what is hype currently for the NFT is NFT art collectibles. So, what are the future application of NFT that you think it will boom in the near future? Right,
Well,
please.
okay. I mean, there's so many applications. I mean, the issue today surrounding the Genesis hype is, most of it is surrounding digital art and such, like you said, right?
Yes.
And creative people are doing Me Too, kind of thing to capitalize on the hype. And I'm not saying that's wrong, because I mean that's the beauty about it, right? You're seeing really creative applications or artistic, expressions right now being done, right up to holograms and augmented reality and AI and all that stuff. So crazy, yes, crazy amounts are being transacted among the community. But that again being said, more than 90% of it is dormant and probably going to be worthless one day, right? So this is the problem. They're not clear of the concepts and fundamentals of it, like what Irsyad mentioned just now. Oversupply of people jumping on the bandwagon, they're not really seeing the real value and true potential of what NFTs are supposed to and can be, right? In other ways or being applied in other areas. So, I mean, we're already exploring what we can do with the metaverse with someone famous in this room right now, you know. So yeah, there's a lot of things we can do. It will take time, I guess, for the current mania to settle down, and more people experiment with what if, Nifty's was used like this or like that, right? And so, that's my intention with what NFT Pangolin will evolve to be, right? With the kind of resources that we have, everything that we're doing regionally in the ecosystem in my AG group, it will happen. We're not just another Nifty marketplace in that sense. So when you ask me about the future applications, there's areas that you can use, government contracts, asset management, tokenization, serializing, a lot of assets that we have, right? Can be applied within the creative industry, like you mentioned. It can cover fashion, can cover events, and even the content industry. When you look at a lot of the content that's being produced right now, a lot of it can be nifty, right? Games, and augmented reality, metaverse with Dr. Liew, for example. All these things are opening up applications of where NFTs are going to go. You look at products and services, authentication of genuine products and stuff like that. You can apply it to supply chain and logistics, for tracking, for authentication, again for security purposes. When you cover finance industries, insurance, wheels, we haven't even covered like halal or Islamic areas yet. I know colleagues of mine in Halal Development Corporation, already talking about using blockchain and NFT in the halal space. We look at intellectual data and identity property, protection. All these things are going to, be affected by NFTs or use NFTs in some form or manner. You look at internet domains, the way decentralized internet is being structured, or even DAO, decentralized autonomous organizations, or digital transaction verification. So there's so many ways for you to use this. I mean, even covered medical, industries, or even automotive industries. There's so many ways NFTs can be used. And I think that's where the industry is heading. Like I said, the first round right now is the hype around the art. But when you look at the technology itself, it can go way, way much further. And that's the future of NFTs.
Right. I think it's very huge, and Mr. Johan Nasir explained it's very huge the future application of NFT of almost everything can put in the
Yeah.
NFT. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Johan Nasir. A very excellent explanation on that. So our topic is NFT, Metaverse, and the future. So I would like to ask our specialist here, Dr. Liew, on because you are having a project with a museum metaverse. Wow, it's very big project. So can you explain to us what is metaverse and how does the metaverse work in a simple word? I think. All right, please.
Okay, thank you, Bukhari. Actually, when Facebook announced Facebook become Meta, the word metaverse become a buzzword. So everyone is talking about it. A lot of companies also talking about. I want to use metaverse as a strategy, and all the stocks and the coin related to metaverse all become very valuable. For example, the Gala coin, the Sandbox, the Sandcoin, the Mana. So all rose in value. So this is hype. But actually, metaverse is not a new term. It was first coined in science fiction by Neil Stephenson in the science fiction called Snow Crash. And also we have this MMORPG games, which are a form of metaverse, but they're not actual metaverse. Okay, we also have some application like Second Life, those VR, AR applications. Second Life is like parallel universe, but still it's almost like a metaverse, but still not a metaverse yet. And you have Roblox, all these things. So I think the youngsters who play games, they are used to metaverse. Okay, but metaverse is much more than that, right? For a real metaverse, must be something persistent. It's a VR world, virtual world, but it must be like persistent all the while existing 24 hours 7. Okay, not like our game, it can hang or sometimes only allow 1,000 players to play. But this one should accommodate global citizen online and synchronous at the same time. All right, because this will be a real world, a second world. You can live there, have fun, entertainment. Okay, so it shouldn't like suddenly have to reboot or hang out. So anybody just put on the goggle, you can be in the universe, in the metaverse. So I think we cannot achieve that yet until we have 5G or 6G connection. Okay, not like even our conference, this stream, yeah, sometimes also cannot log in. So this one, sorry.
Real use case story, eh?
So metaverse is synchronized, seamless connection. So I think we need 5G, 6G. We already have all the the hardware, the VR. For example, Facebook Oculus, I bought one also. When you go in, actually you are in another world. Okay, you can talk to your girlfriend. You can dance with something else, another girl. So you can have a second family, right?
Wow. Second family.
Actually, I was asked to dance with some robot or dancing. It's quite interesting.
Next time, invite us.
Yeah. So it must be persistent, synchronous, and important thing, it must have a functional economy. So when you go in, you can buy things like VR commerce. You can buy a shoe or a shirt or whatever you want. Okay. You can have entertainment. You need money to pay, and what is the kind of money? Is cryptocurrency, right?
Yeah.
Bitcoin or whatever. All right. Or Meta coin. If Facebook, they can't be Meta coin, but I don't want to use Facebook. All right. And also you must have asset. So all this asset must be digital asset. It cannot be a real asset. Right? Digital is a representation of the real asset. So all these are NFT. So you can see Metaverse is the whole ecosystem. So inside must have the component, all the component asset are NFT. So you see the importance of NFT.
Yeah.
So yeah, you must have NFT. Without NFT, you cannot have Metaverse. So NFT is one of the most important component of Metaverse. All right. And then you must have the financial system, the DeFi, decentralized finance must be there. All right. And then you must have game, you must have sport. So you can have sports inside Metaverse, you can play football. The football is a digital asset, it's an NFT. So you can form your team, you can play, you can even disguise as Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi. Okay, you can form even your own team. Okay, but you have to play first. You have to pay until you qualify to play with Messi or whatever. Even badminton also can. Okay, you can play with Lee Chong Wei, but you have to qualify first. Okay, so these are all possible in Metaverse in the future. All right. So Metaverse is something I would say 5 to 10 years it become very mature. Not only in gaming but also in, for example, in medical. Okay, you can have doctor to guide a doctor from a remote location. Okay, to guide a doctor to do operation. Okay, and also Meta conferences, Metaverse conference. I think Microsoft is pushing for this next year, especially with the pandemic, because all these StreamYard or Zoom, these are not immersive enough. So because you are talking to a 2D screen, all right. But this one will be inside a hall. Okay, you will see each other, and also exchange idea, can interact, okay, can shake hand. Okay, not the real hand, but it's a virtual hand. Like Oculus, you can configure your hand to be a virtual hand. Okay, you can push a bar, grab a tennis racket and play tennis.
They can
And I
detect the
can,
gesture.
yeah,
Yeah.
They can detect the
Yes.
gesture.
yeah, you can make yourself an avatar, become not handsome, become handsome.
Wow.
Okay, you can, okay.
Become younger
So,
also.
yeah, you can have VR chat like now, for example, Facebook VR chat. So, but I see it's quite risky also. You can maybe some guy stranger come in front of you, say, want to add friend or not? Come. Okay, so I see this kind of thing. I think there's some all about what I want to say about metaverse.
Right.
So everything possible in the real world is possible in the metaverse. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Liew. Very good explanation on the metaverse. Mean that we can, like Dr. Liew said, we can have a second family in the metaverse. So, wow, it will be a huge impact in our social ecosystem. Right. Just now, Dr. Liew also mentioned about the GameFi. So I think Mr. Benny have a good experience on that. So could you explain a bit on what is GameFi and what it makes it different with current gaming application, and what is the relation with the NFT and metaverse? Your please, Mr. Benny.
Okay. So the crypto market is currently experiencing another revolution with the advent of NFT and blockchain-based gaming. There has been no greater theme this year than this niche, which has taken over the imaginations of even those outside the market. Several projects have made a name for themselves, one of them being Axie Infinity. However, it is the idea of GameFi that will boost the play to earn model as a whole. Okay, it's clear why so many projects in this space are having tremendous success. The technology finally exists to allow for heavily populated networks to flourish, scaling solutions, improvement in NFTs, and cross-chain compatibility. Okay, it's the perfect breeding ground for new blockchain-based games. Okay, this may come as a surprise to many, but the gaming industry itself generates more revenue than the film and music industry combined. Okay, it's the fastest growing industry, okay, in the past decade, and shows no signs of slowing down. I think in 2020 it was like 180 billion, okay, for this area itself, and then combined with COVID-19, right? Everybody cannot go out, and what can you do? Play more game, watch more video. That's it. Okay. So in the most recent large-scale entertainment industries, okay, that has quickly entrenched itself is in the public's consciousness. Gaming has entered the lives of many people across generations, whether it's Candy Crush or the latest AAA game released from a big name studio. However, those are pay-to-play games, which have their place in the market and bring great joy to many people. One spin-off type of game that has emerged in the past decade, typically large-scale games like MMO, is free to play. Okay, these games cost nothing to start. Okay, but often the in-game items and cosmetics can be purchased with real currency. Okay, many people have enjoyed free to play games, though the criticism has been directed at the cost of those items. It is somewhat understandable, though, as developers and publishers need to recover the cost of making the game. But the next evolution is here, is arguably the most significant, both for the players and the developers. This is the complete U-turn from how other type of games work. Play to earn games allow users to earn from their playtime, okay? Usually in the form of a network native asset. Developers and publishers also stand to gain as the inherent value of the token rise as more users play and the game succeeds. It solves one of the biggest issues within the gaming market, which is how to create pricing models in games and sustain a player base. GameFi is a new phase coined for the blockchain gaming space, merging the terms gaming and finance. It's just a platform, but rather an idea that supports finance and promotes the free-to-play model of blockchain-based games. Think of sort of DeFi for the blockchain gaming space, okay? The idea to bring the expense market of play to earn under one banner, making it easy for players to work with different games that might be they might be playing. Okay, it is also has several features as we see. The features that define GameFi and separate it from traditional gaming are ownerships of assets and tradability of those assets and transparency of data. GameFi has a few important features that drive its whole idea of creating a better financial ecosystem for games, marketplace or a launchpad for initial game offerings, okay, the decentralized governance that come after, and how the game function make up the three primary features. As opposed to traditional gaming, GameFi rewards players more for all the time and skill they put into playing, not pay to win, okay, play to earn.
Play to earn.
And unlike traditional games, they own the assets and they earn in the game, which of course, thanks to blockchain, allows them to trade it across different crypto markets or or different chains. Okay, but this is better explained by GameFi idea of bringing a stronger finance mechanism to games.
Yeah.
How is it bringing a better finance model to the game? It's easy to say that GameFi is bringing what do you call it? How to say it? Bring better finance to game, but what does it mean? There's a gap in the crypto space, namely that these games and their metaverse exist in silos. Easy interaction and
Utilization.
migration of asset between these games are simply not possible today. There is a big obstacle for the growth in the niche, and one must be removed for its players are to be seamless and to fully enjoy the experience. I think I about covered.
Yeah. All right. Thank
all of
you.
it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Benny. Actually, I covered everything on the GameFi, I think. What the good point that I can get that maybe for the entrepreneur that you can look at it is the revenue for the gaming is huge than combination of movie and the music itself. So it's very big market opportunity there. All right. So coming back to the NFT, I would like to ask Mr. Irsyad just now before this session. I talked with Mr. Benny that in Singapore they have some KYC in the NFT marketplace. So how to detect those who are not the real creator and selling some arts in the NFT? So any law related to this issue that currently have in Pentas, or maybe you know something on that?
For Pentas, we have a basic terms of use. Term of use means if it is an NFT marketplace, people treat it as a commercial purpose. Commercial purpose means if people upload it, it's actually purely for commercial related. So in Pentas, we do have a KYC because but not all user immediately they will do KYC. But for us, once a certain creators reach certain milestone, before we flag them as a verified user, or after they reach this milestone, then we will do some sort of KYC. And the reason why we do this KYC is because we need to protect the consumer. There are many how to say argument that people see if, when it comes to NFT marketplace. It need to be 100% decentralized. You need to be how to say 100% of total freedom, because if this is happen, marketplace can be a wild west. Means it can be again nobody has a control. People can upload, example, pornography. People can upload things that is not really suitable for us to go for beyond normal crypto consumer. Because currently what we are doing right now is we are on the stage of game of skill. When it comes to game of skill, it's not only for those who are familiar with crypto, but for those who are entering into NFT and crypto space. So they in Pentas, yes, there is a KYC, but for people to create, it's up to them, because same goes with Facebook, right? Same goes with Facebook, same goes with any social platform. They just create a profile. So they do a profile, they can upload content, they can share content. So this is the ideology, this is the concept. So people can mint, people can create. But until if they reach a certain sales milestone where they want to be another level, then KYC is required. And as I said, one of the reasons why we do this is actually we also need to protect the consumer and the buyer in Pentas.
I see. All right. So
Yeah.
the early stage, no KYC needed, but once selling certain
Yes,
price,
yes.
right?
Because in Pentas, if you notice, there are some verified user and some non-verified user. So for those who are from non-verified to become a verified user, then you need to do some sort of KYC with certain requirement. And this requirement is actually is not how to say a practice done by us, but mostly is done by majority of the marketplace, including OpenSea.
I see. All right.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
one more thing. And of course, for us, in order to protect the IP and everything, we do have again, it goes back to our terms of use, where if there's a report coming in, for example, someone upload copyright related, yes, for us, Pentas, we have a capacity to delist it from the marketplace. And this is based on, again, it goes back to the consumer protection. It goes back to we acknowledge on the IP related stuff.
All right. Thank you, Irsyad. I think it's covered on what's happening in Pentas right now. So you said that you're at
Yeah, yeah.
a growing stage, right? Okay. Mr. Johan Nasir, you are director of NFT Pangolin, very experienced on the NFT. So, what is your opinion? Are NFT here to stay, and are they going to be a big deal? And maybe you can add a bit information and you share your views. How is the adaptation rate of NFT in Asia and Malaysian particularly?
Okay. Well, I guess as I mentioned previously, the ultimate question is industry use case in terms of, asset registry or tracking, appreciating assets, utilization or utility purposes, intellectual property protection, social, applications as well, governance, trading, commerce. So, when you look at where the potential the technology is heading, whether it's merely to put it on some blockchain or whether it has some functional daily application or as an investment tool, it's here to stay, right? Because when you look at, say, crypto, from the time Bitcoin started back in 2008, right? Today, the various industries, governments, brands, corporates, small businesses, financial markets, consumers, are all doing some form of innovative applications on blockchain on everything today, just after a short 12 years. So it will take time for the NFT side to mature, just like Metaverse. Dr. Liew said just now, it might take 10 years. If Bitcoin took 12 years. So I probably would say, within the short span of maybe 3 to 5 years, you will see the more expanded use case for NFTs itself. The technology is not the issue, because you can create the technology, but I believe that NFTs are just a natural evolution or extension of the business and industry innovation and consumer demand driving the creative use and applications of NFT well into the future until we see something else, or something stronger coming along lah. And that's where the excitement is, right? Every day my mind is being blown. The amount of things that are being proposed or discussed on a daily basis is really interesting, because if I have a meeting with Dr. Liew, he's blowing my mind. The next day I meet another version of somebody else talking to me about something else altogether, and again your mind is blown. And so people in this space are constantly and creatively pushing the boundaries of what NFTs can be. So, I mean, I'm a futurist, but I'm also a realist, right? Over 20 years of exposure to every aspect of technology, has allowed me to sort of have a insight of able to see the future lah. Make no mistake, the world, the governments out there, the future generations, even the old uncles and aunties now, the B40s, the M40s, everyone, all of us are going to have to embrace this blockchain, crypto, nifty way of life, metaverse way of life now, today. It's not exclusive to just tech nerds and even early adopters anymore. We are already in the early stages of phase three, or mass adoption already. It's not like, the people who just exclusive to the techie guys. No, it's going mass already. So it is inevitable. Just like the unavoidable internet use today after 25 years ago, right? It will become seamless. That's like how you're using e-wallets and digital banking or shopping online, which is so commonplace today. You got grandparents already shopping online right now.
Yeah.
So, you might as well embrace it now and slowly learn, because resist it, you will become obsolete and the whole world will leave you behind. So that's the big deal. A lot of people need to get that into their heads, because if you speak to the machikia out there, and when you ask about, say, penetration or familiarity or adoption of NFTs in the mass market, a lot of people will turn around, apa tu? And they will ask because they're not aware of it. So this is the challenge, right? Pentas, NFT Pangolin and my EG and Dr. Liew and all of us within this panel have to do this uphill task of educating the mass market and slowly getting them to understand where, the technology applies to their life.
I like to add up a bit because
Yeah.
like what you said, right?
Sure.
The technology is because from the first when I mentioned about NFT, the word itself is so jargon, which is
Yeah.
NFT. So if I remember when the technology was introduced, the database, not many people understand what is MySQL. Not many people understand what is database, but they just
Yes.
use the internet. What I see in the near future and what all of us here is actually, I believe one day people don't care about the terminology of NFT. The moment they upload content on the internet, that is already an NFT, and it's just an underlying technology running on top of the solution that already being built. So because of the technology is being introduced right now, of course NFT started back in I think Rare Pepe or their few the early NFTs. But what I see is the same pattern as database, because before Web 1 introduced to Web 2, where internet is no longer a static website, people can publish content, people can write content. The terminology of MySQL, database, what is database at that time? People, okay, the database is very powerful, a storage system where you can store data. So it repeat the same. So now we see the terminology, the terms of NFT, but I believe in the near future, people might not care about NFT because it's just there already run. The moment you upload content, the moment you go to Metaverse, you purchase anything in Metaverse, that is already NFT.
Yeah, it'll become a background thing. So yeah, I agree with Irsyad on this. It'll become ubiquitous and seamless, like I said just now. We don't care about e-banking or digital banking or mobile banking anymore. To us, it's just banking. Whether you use it on your phone, your browser, your laptop, you go to the counter, it's just banking. So in that sense, yeah, it's just another way of applying technology to make our lives easier, right? And therefore, if there is a use case, if there's a value to it, then industry adopts it, and it just becomes something in the background. But yeah, like what I said, that's where the real challenge is, right? Educating the real industry players out there to adopt this. We're already talking to so many brands right now who want to explore what can be done from a brand point of view, and therefore, they have to understand, do we want to get in on the hype, or do we want to get into what the technology can do for our business to help it grow more value? So it's a question of perspective, right? And that's what's going to be driving the industry forward, using these kind of technologies.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Johan, Irsyad, sharing your views on this NFT. that NFT here to stay, and
Oh yeah,
it's
definitely.
inevitable. Yeah, right. Okay, come back to this metaverse. Dr. Liew, we know that you just mentioned just now that Facebook already launched. We know their metaverse, even changed their company name, become Meta. So there's a lot of data can be get from the activities from metaverse. So you said that we're going to have the second family. We're going to play with the Messi over there. So many activities there, and of course, many data will be taken by Facebook. So what is your opinion, especially on the data security?
Okay, thank you. This is a very good question, and everybody should be concerned. All right. Actually, when I bought the Oculus, and when I went to go inside the Oculus, you have to register with Facebook. Must have a Facebook account.
Yes.
Otherwise, you cannot go
Yes.
in. So Facebook already control our data, our privacy. They can even post what call that advertisement to you. Okay, all kind of thing, all kind of thing will come to you. And I seldom use Facebook actually now. Right. What happens if you are in the metaverse? You are even more immersive. So now Facebook can track your facial expression, maybe your heartbeat, maybe your what call that, all kind of reaction, your biological reaction. So they have more data from you. They have richer data from you. So they know what product you need. Okay, they can even sell your data. So I would say this is something we have to fight against Facebook. Maybe use regulations or what. Okay. So I'm not sure what the senator in the US will do to them. Okay,
Yeah,
because
Dr.
yeah,
Liu, you know,
yeah.
Facebook just banned somebody in Australia for using the username as Meta.
Ah, you.
So, you know, cannot ban on Instagram already. Yeah,
So I will
Yeah,
foresee
no.
we should create decentralized metaverse. But Facebook
Yeah,
is a centralized metaverse.
that's the
Okay.
solution, right? Decentralized metaverse.
Yeah, so I was foresee so Relife I don't want to be one of them, decentralized metaverse. So I can foresee there are many decentralized metaverses versus the tycoon, all the big giants, Microsoft, Google, Amazon. Every one of them want to have their own kingdom. So we are like gorillas, fighting against them. So we want to pull more people into our community. We want to form a decentralized, autonomous organization and we combine all the decentralized metaverses to fight against them. So this is my idea. Because decentralized metaverse, you control your own data. Okay, you
Yes.
control your everything, your privacy. Okay, but Facebook, I think it's dangerous. Okay, they control everything, your privacy, how many girlfriends you have in the metaverses, they know. And then where you go, what you have done.
I
Sure,
support you, Dr. Liu. I support
yeah,
you, Dr. Liu. I support you.
I saw this
We are,
documentary. I saw this documentary on Netflix. It's about Life 2.0. So you can have a nice another girlfriend or another life inside. But Facebook, you learn about all your behavior. What happens if your wife also come in, or your missus or your girlfriend come in, and then bump into you, having affair with another guy? I
Yes.
can't imagine that.
Yeah,
But
that's the key takeaway from today's session.
yes. So Facebook, you know everything of you, your buying behavior, and which entertainments you like. So they push a lot of products to you, a lot of entertainment.
Yes.
So I think we should form something like okay, we should fight alliance. We have something like NGO, no,
Like
inside
Avengers,
metaverse.
To make
Yeah,
it a
like Avengers,
decentralized metaverse. Avengers,
yeah,
right?
uh,
we need to
decentralized
fight
Avengers.
against. Yeah, correct. So we don't want Facebook to control our life. because
Right.
because it can be very addictive. So once you are inside, very hard for you to pull out from the metaverse. So all the while you'll be like cannot come out from the metaverse. So your real life, I think it has a lot of psychological impact, sociological impact. Okay, it may affect your family life also.
Yeah, agree.
Okay, so that's my take on this Facebook metaverse. All right, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Liu. So of course, the giant is there. Facebook, of course, make it hype for the metaverse, but to protect it from using easily our data, so we need to have the decentralized metaverse. All right. Of course, related to the metaverse. How about the moderation in the metaverse? The hate speech, vandalism, pornography. It still can be monitored in social media. Mm. But how to create the police in the metaverse? And metaverse will have more activity and many meetings there. You can have family and doing something. Um, how to control the activities, the hate speech, vandalism, or pornography in the metaverse? Mr.
Even
Benny,
fraud.
yeah, even fraud. Yeah, Mr. Benny, any idea on this?
Um, you most likely have to use AI to police this part because uh, right now, metaverse is like it's got
Wild Wild
it's got a
West.
space that it's not defined. So you can't actually look at every corner of the space. So without AI to police it, I think is going to be tough to be able to censor pornography or block out hate speech. That type of thing is going to be difficult unless you got an AI in the background that is going to monitor
Make
uh,
no mistake, the
every aspect
world.
of the metaverse. Without it, I think the humans will not be able to, we only got two eyes and we can't see everywhere all the time.
I have a suggestion based on this question, because for us also, when we structured the marketplace, this is either metaverse or marketplace, this is the same thing. Of course, like what you said, AI is also can be implemented, but uh, for me personally, I believe how do we control is actually one thing. Trustable way of authority, trustable authority. Where does this trustable authority comes from? It can come from DAO, DAO voting. But again, when it comes to DAO, if you people really dissect what is DAO, it can be a waste game. For those who owns a lot, actually they are the one that control, right?
Yeah.
So trustable authority, there are many definitions to achieve what is trustable authority. One of the way that already achieved right now, which is on Bitcoin network, is they have a standard code, standard which is a validator, which is has been programmed and has been code, which is the validator is validate the transaction. But when it comes to metaverse, there are certain area. It doesn't matter either it is item on a metaverse to police it or item on a marketplace. As of now, there are certain area which is very very gray. How fast you can make a decision of, okay, this art or this item or metaverse is fraudulent? How fast you can make that decision, right? So of course it can be a cumulative action, but again, when it comes to cumulative action, who is the one that going to pull the plug? So it can be an institution, it can be a corporation, it can be a company governed by DAO. Those are the solution
I
to
would add
police
to
it.
that,
Yeah.
that's also what we call, community policing, right? If you have enough of a community in there that would not tolerate this kind of stuff, or is, able to spot certain things, they could be collective self-policing type, community that monitors and how do I say, tracks all these things, right? So this is where technology again plays a role. So you're going to see the convergence of different business models or concepts or ideas being implemented within spaces like the metaverse, and that's where the technology needs to move fast enough to deploy some things like this, right? So say working with guys like Benny, to discuss and deploy or develop something like that, because there is a need. There will be a lot of questions that need to be answered in order to eventually evolve places like the metaverse, which will take, like what Dr. Liew said, easily 10 years for it to mature. So in between now to that 10 years, there'll be a lot of things that'll be developed and continuously developed and improved until we reach a certain point of where the people can feel, okay, I can go into this metaverse safely. I know Facebook is not going to control me, like Thanos, and one snap and I can delete my account, and erase my whole life in that sense. Because, well, we have, people like us being the police, the people that police or communities that police it. And again, you can build this into code, like what Irsyad was saying. So at the end of the day, there are ways around this. It's just that it hasn't appeared yet, but it will eventually appear.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Johan, Mr. Irsyad and Benny. I think it's answered this topic. It goes to the decentralized, it goes to the community on judging these issues. Okay, I think I would like to select some question. Some question come from our audience. Okay, from Mr. Anwar Yusuf. It goes directly to Dr. Liew. If we have more metaverse, wouldn't that create more opportunities for hackers to steal the data? So, what is your opinion on this,
Okay,
Dr.
thank
Liew?
you, Mr. Anwar. Yeah, this is a very good, very good question. Okay, actually, cyber security is even more important in metaverse. All right, because basically here, because we have a lot of NFT inside, so they can be stolen. All right, so we need to build very robust security system in the metaverse. Okay, they may actually come in the form of robot, no? Come and grab the NFT away. So you must build. So I would see that those metaverse as a service company, they build this cyber security inside. So there is cyber security company they can build, especially for metaverse. So it should be more advanced than the present technology. Okay, so it's already happened. Hacking is already happening. Even I lost quite a lot of Bitcoin, I mean not coin, cryptocurrency from my wallet due to hacking. Okay, so I will see a lot of cases that will be happening in the metaverse. So we need police, we need police, and we also need cyber security,
Robocop.
firewall. Okay, actual wall, then you cannot enter.
Yes.
All right. Okay,
Robocop
thank you.
lah. You
Yeah,
need Robocop also.
Robert. Yeah. So maybe you can track the thief also, right? The robber easier to track maybe. Actually catch them.
I think this is
virtual hour.
this is the interesting thing, right? I mean, we already
Yeah.
have proof of work, proof of stake as
Yeah.
protocols. We're seeing proof of time,
Yes.
and even
Space and time.
proof of
Correct.
space and time.
Yeah.
So you can even come up with proof of authority as a protocol, right?
Yes.
Proof of
POA.
authority.
So
Correct.
that's another interesting concept, that can be developed further, right? To do this policing that what Dr. Lee was saying. Perhaps even escrow parties and all that stuff to make sure that people's transactions are safe. So all these opportunities are there for a lot of technology people to develop, and it is a business opportunity as well. And as more people
Yes.
understand what needs to be developed, because like I said, it is a wild west. You don't
Yeah.
have the infrastructure yet. It's a empty canvas. So at the end of the day, there's plenty of opportunities for people to stake their claim and land in certain functions and features that needs to be done and built within these worlds. And because of that, this creates a very interesting dynamic for the business world as well, to corporates, to startups, to entrepreneurs, to even the communities out there. Once certain things being developed, do you get just like fan, when you have a certain community, they have a voice. Do they get a power to vote, to want a certain feature to be developed for their own safety and peace of mind? So if people receive that, and they see an opportunity to develop it, people like Benny might say, hey, okay, that's a great idea, I'm going to develop it and then deploy it, right? So we never know.
Yeah.
you know
Yeah. Actually now they have some. They even have virtual real estate company, real estate management company. They buy land for you from Decentraland, from the sandbox. So they manage for you the land, the real estate. So I can see this kind of third-party service company. They are coming to help you build the metaverse or help you to manage the metaverse asset. Yeah. So there are a lot of business opportunities.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Liu. Yeah, of course, when scam have some problem, of course, the solution and the opportunity for the business to come in to solve the problem. All right, I think I would like take another. Okay, it's coming another question from Mr. Anwar. So I think it's good to share this also. would there be wars or geopolitical tips between the different metaverse? Right.
Maybe I can give input for this very
Yeah.
short.
Please, Irsyad.
Okay. Even for Pentas ourselves, yesterday we did tweet about we are looking for metaverse architect. So this is where again, so when it comes to what I see in the near future, metaverse, there will not be only one metaverse. There will be multiple metaverse, and
Multiverse.
people has multiverse, correct? And
Multiverse.
people will have a capability to teleport. For example, okay, currently I'm in Pentas Metaverse. The themes of Pentas Metaverse is very how to say, South Asian based. You can find pokok durian, you can find very nice Banjaran Titiwangsa. This is the themes of Pentas Metaverse. But of course, you can teleport to Sandbox, you can teleport to some other marketplace. But in the near future, yes, I don't see any, of course it still has a potential, but I don't see a war between metaverse. But in the near future, people has a capability to live on all those multiple places and they can teleport. So it's just a matter of a standard protocol between metaverse players.
All
Yeah.
right.
Right.
Okay. Good. Thank you, Mr. Irsyad.
Mhm.
Yeah, more metaverses for this coming. Right?
Because just very short. So if people want to design cars, right? Of course, there's a standard
Yeah.
of designing a car. You must have a chassis. If let's say there's a tires manufacturer that build tires, there's a standard spec of the tires. So that
Yeah.
all factories, either Mercedes, BMW, or Proton, they just follow the standard. So again, you can buy same brand, you can use it for whatever brands of cars. Same goes with metaverse. I believe at one point there will be a standard layer of protocol where these metaverse can integrate between each other, and it is necessary for all of these metaverse must coexist because of course each players has their own uniqueness, and this is going to happen in the near future.
I see this interoperability. Interoperability.
I believe
like,
those things will be called,
Interoperability. Yeah.
I think that will be
Interoperability,
called
yes.
the bridges that they are currently already
Yes.
available.
Yeah.
cost chain,
Yes, bridges is for asset management. Means you can transfer the asset from this metaverse, of course. But in terms of standard protocol, what I mean is, for example, okay, I am in Pentas Metaverse. I just go to a door. I open this door and I go inside. When I go inside, it's actually in decentralized.
Facebook
Example.
metaverse. All right.
It actually is
Yeah.
already possible now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I on my platform we are already linking all the EVM chains together with Solana and Phantom, and even Elron. So, so those are non-EVMs. So just imagine you have a single dashboard, you can view all your assets on every chain as long as you register your crypto address.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, this interoperability or portability is something that is, already happening now. And this is like what I said, right? If the mass population doesn't keep up, they're just going to get so far left behind because they have so much to learn.
Yeah.
So then the question mark is, does the mass population of the world agree or adopt, this metaverse concept and multiverse concepts, and how will they easily understand how to use it responsibly as well, in such a manner that is, a no-brainer, right? Even young people can understand, or old people can understand to use it, right? So this is a challenge that all of us have. I think, as the people that are pioneering these markets or these technologies, we need to have the responsibility to educate the mass market as well, because otherwise there's no point building the metaverse if nobody wants to use it or is not familiar on how to use it, or if it becomes too difficult or too cumbersome or too technical for them to understand, especially when we're talking about high-level technology, concepts here, right? So again, when you look at all these protocols, all these underlying layers of security and all that stuff, this is a challenge that Dr. Liew and even Benny, even myself, and Irsyad will have to figure out for the rest of the world somehow from this region.
Actually, we already have some sort of metaverse where the children are starting to learn stuff in virtual reality.
Yeah.
In Singapore, we already have that now.
Yeah.
So
Same here.
So the children they can learn stuff interactively, but in virtual reality. So
We haven't even covered jobs
it's
and
almost there
qualifications.
already.
Yeah.
We haven't even covered jobs and
Oh yeah,
employment.
jobs. Yes.
Jobs in metaverse, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah,
imagine
correct.
the skill set. The world needs more graduates or people that are qualified to develop stuff in this world. So there'll be a huge demand,
Yeah.
from people who can do hologram, or augmented reality or AI type, graphics and stuff. Not to mention cybersecurity and a lot of other things. And so this is where the world is heading towards. You can't stop it.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Johan, Benny, Irsyad, Dr. Liew. Very interesting topic and having covered here and from NFT and metaverse. What will happen? We're going to have job in the metaverse and multiple verses. So all have been covered in this around 1 hour. So maybe um a short um quote from
Last
your side.
words?
From your side, yeah. Last word from your side. Regarding this topic. Start maybe from Mr. Benny.
Sorry, what was the question again?
Oh, your last word for this topic. What
Ah,
the NFT marketplace and the future? What will happen to the future? We have NFT already. We have the metaverse. What is the future?
okay.
Your last word on this.
Actually, this NFT has already been around since 2018, and most of the developers will know it as ERC 721 or 1155. Okay, it's
All
just
right.
that this NFT is the new jargon for it. Okay, and
Yes.
it didn't take on until I think somewhere in early last year, where somebody sold a painting for
Yeah,
millions, and then when I
some
look at it,
people.
hey, how is this painting worth that much? Where is the value? So I ask artists, and they tell me that value is in the eye of the beholder. Okay,
Yeah.
so with that, I can tell you that and the amount of usage that we can use with NFTs, the way that we can use it is so much that like Johan said, it won't go away. It'll be here. Okay, whether you choose to use it or not, then that's up to
Yes.
you. But if you
It will.
don't use it, you'll be left behind.
Yes.
Okay, so I strongly advise people, if you don't know what is it, please start somewhere, read whatever, or if you really can't it take too much time to read, then go watch a movie like Avatar.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Mr. Benny.
Yeah.
Mr. Johan, any last word? Around 30 seconds.
Wow. I mean, it is the future, and society has to evolve if we're going to progress, right? And this is one of those things that will be a game changer, just like the way internet changed our life. Dr. Mahathir used the internet in the year 1992. I started using the internet in 1993, 94. So at the end of the day, when you look at the entire evolution of what the internet has brought to us today, it'll be the same, when it comes to blockchain, crypto, NFTs, metaverse, all this stuff. It's just going to keep on going in that direction. There was no way for you to kill the internet. There's no way for you to kill the blockchain. There's no way for you to kill the technologies that are going to be developed on these various infrastructures. And so you're going to have to embrace it, one way or another. So, like I said, it's inevitable, like what Thanos said,
Like Thanos, right?
yeah,
All
in
right.
some ways. Maybe he was right, you know.
Thank you, Mr.
I,
Johan.
I think that it will probably evolve to a point where, clone digital versions of ourselves will be living in the metaverse while we sleep, Even worse, it's tapped into our brains and we are controlling what's happening in the metaverse while we sleep through our dreams. It can get that far.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you, Mr. Johan. Irsyad, any last word?
I just want to continue a bit. Neuralink might have some capability to do that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure. I wouldn't be
Okay.
surprised.
Is the
Okay.
problem?
For me, what I see is NFT further excel metaverse, because metaverse only without NFT, without blockchain, without a trustable way of digital ownership, it won't work. It's just an entertainment center. So because of NFT, it will further propel Metaverse, and this is what I see in the near future. All right.
All right. Thank you, Irsyad. Last word from Dr. Liew.
Yeah, for me, I want to advise entrepreneurs because Metaverse will create a $1 trillion business in 10 years' time. Okay, so every company must build Metaverse strategy in their business because Metaverse is a hybrid connecting physical economy and the virtual economy. So every company should start doing some research in Metaverse. All right, so that's my final advice to the entrepreneurs. And
All
for
right.
normal people, start learning Metaverse and NFT. Okay, this is already not future, already here. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Liew. Thank you, Benny. Thank you, Johan and Irsyad. Very interesting topic, and you guys have too much input for us to digest on this forum. All right. So again, thank you very much to the audience. Sorry we cannot answer all the question. So, but please, you guys please stay in this Facebook Live forum because we're going to have another session, forum number 3 related to the cryptocurrency. All right. So all the speakers, thank you very much.
Thank
So
you.
I end this forum for
Okay,
today. All right. Thank you very
thank you,
much.
thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Bukhari.
Bye bye.